It don't much matter.
Can you leave that in, please?
Leave what in?
Much matter.
Are you gonna be
No,
talking with an
I
English
have to
accent?
stop. I have to stop. I promise. I promise. Okay.
Hello, my name is Christopher Houston, and today we'll be talking about the law of the lid. And this is a leadership channel, and this is a conversation with my daughter, Kiana, about leadership. The law of the lid is in the book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, and we're gonna go over the law of the lid and see if Kiana can learn something this evening. All right, we're sitting out here on our lanai. We're right behind our lanai, seeing if we can catch this last little bit of light before it gets too dark. So let's start. I'm gonna say something, and you know what? I take that back. Before I start, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified every time we put one of these videos out. So I'm gonna start by saying something everyone in America will agree with. I like starting that way. The conversations a father has with his children are important, especially conversations between a father and a daughter. Specifically, we're going to talk about how to raise your leadership lid this evening. Leadership ability is the lid that determines a person's level of effectiveness. The lower an individual's ability to lead, the lower the lid on his or her potential. The higher the individual's ability to lead, the higher the lid on his or her potential. With that being said, Kiana and I are going to talk about leadership and the law of the lid. And to give you a little example, the way it works is this. Let's say if you're a 5 on the leadership levels, let's say the levels go from 1 to 10, and you're a 5. And your team can only go as high as you are. So if you're a 5, even if you have some 10s on your team, guess who's going to be stopping those 10s from really getting to their potential? Well, you, because you're a 5. So we're going to talk about how do you increase your leadership capabilities so that you can increase your team's leadership capabilities. Now, we're going to talk about 7 things you can do to raise your leadership lid. The first one is value experience with reflection. Now, all that means is everyone has experience doing something, and everyone has good and bad experiences. The key is, if you have a good experience, repeat that. If you have a bad experience, don't repeat that. Take that into consideration when you're leading yourself and when you're leading your team, and that will help you raise your leadership lid. So Kiana, let's talk about that. What do you think about experience and reflection?
I think that experiences are good to have. They're good to reflect on yourself and be more self-aware. Whether those are good or bad experiences, I think both help you to grow as a person and to grow in those difficult times or circumstances.
Okay, what do you think about reflection? When you reflect on something, what does that mean?
Reflecting is looking back on that experience, looking back at what you did right, looking back at what you did wrong, and then seeing what you can improve on the things that you did wrong, and then also improve on the things you did right, because you probably could have added a couple more things to make it even more efficient. So that's reflecting in my definition.
No, that's good. Number 2 is invest in training. Sometimes we forget about this. Now, Kiana's in school now. We all go to school from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. Some of us go to college. Some of us go to trade schools. It doesn't matter. But you want to always invest in training. Be a continual learner. Kiana is investing in her education right now because what she's doing is she comes home, she gets her homework done. She studies for her tests. Now, she's investing in that training by using her time. Now, later on in life, you can invest in training by taking leadership courses. You can invest in training by going to college. You could invest in training by doing a myriad of things that will help you increase your training level and increase whatever your craft is. You'll continue to increase the level of understanding of your craft. So that's what you have to do. Invest in training. And remember, you invest in something when you want to get something back. So you don't spend time training, you invest in training. So what do you think about investing in training, Kiana?
I think that it is, I'm trying to think of a different word than important, but I think that it is important that you need to find your skill and try and master that as best as you can, but also investing your time into learning about it more. So it's not just like, oh, I learned these 2 extra things. Like, no, really dive deep. Wait, really dive deep into your skill or your craft, and then you can try and find something similar to it that may help you, or something different that may help you with your skill.
No, that's good. You're right. Increasing that skill level. That's what it's all about. Next is number 3, mentorship and coaching. You should always have a mentor. You should always have some type of coach. What a mentor or a coach is going to do is that person is going to help you become the best you can be. That person is not there to help you become a little mini me of them, even though
It just
sometimes
happened that way.
it happens that way.
It just happens
right?
that
But the
way
goal
sometimes.
is to help that person become the best version of themselves. Now, to give you a good example, my field, or I started off in my field, was information technology. Now, of course, I love that. Kiana, she's more creative. So instead of that, she's thinking about marketing, which is fine, right? So my goal is to make sure that I mentor her and I coach her on how to be the best marketing professional. And that may be by introducing her to individuals that know marketing. So that's what a mentor and a coach does, right? And when you're young, like she is, and even myself to this day, you don't have to have the same mentor for everything. You know, my motto is faith, family, fitness, and finance. And I try to get a mentor in each one of those areas, because just because you have a mentor that's good at finance, that doesn't mean that that mentor will be good at the other things in your life. Like in my 4, if I have someone that's helping me with finance, that person might not be the same mentor as I use for faith. So mentorship and coaching, what do you think about that, Kim?
I think that it is nice to have a mentor or a coach that is with you during your journey. I think that it is important for you to at least find someone that helps you with the difficult times that appear in that journey. I mean, we all go through them, and it's very helpful to have somebody there to talk to and to kind of help you through that, instead of just dwelling in it and just being like, man, I suck. This sucks. Like, you know, that person is there to kind of pick you up and just be like, hey, don't worry about it. Just let it roll off your back and move on. And they're also there to teach you through those difficult times as well. So it's not just inspiring you or giving you some, what's that called?
Inspiration?
Inspiration, yeah. It's, you know, they're not just there for that. They're also there to give you advice and give you certain lessons that will help you later in life or in that journey.
Correct. And don't get inspiration mixed up with motivation, right? Mm-hmm. Motivation comes from within, inspiration comes from without. Somebody can inspire you to get motivated, but if you just rely on someone to motivate you, what happens when they're not there, right? The motivation goes away. So always remember that. Next, we'll talk about the mastermind focus. Mastermind focus means nothing more than getting a mastermind mindset. Also meaning getting a group of individuals that are thinking kind of the same way you're thinking. And what I mean by that is thinking about success, moving forward, not looking back. Thinking about how are you going to progress from point A to Z. You get a bunch of people, and it doesn't take a lot, but you get a few people all moving in the same direction, that always helps you out. And just like the team that you have, or the little crew that you have, that you guys all try to get A's, and you say, hey, you know what, a B is, it almost feels like failing, you know, in your little group. There's nothing wrong with having a group that's going to push you. So having that mastermind focus and that mastermind group would help. So what do you think about mastermind group and mastermind focus?
I think that speaking from personal experience, it really helps me, because bouncing off ideas or having those people that can help you with, you know, those difficult like mind blocks during your essays, or like you just need help with this one problem because you just don't get it. Like just having that there is amazing, and it's so helpful at times, and they know what you go through and you know what they go through with academics and adding all this extra clubs and programs that you're doing at school. So it's nice to have that group around that understands, but also you guys have the same motivation. So you guys have that same goal almost. And once you guys all achieve that goal, it feels 10 times more amazing than it would just, by yourself. So I think that it's really cool and important to have.
No, that is good. You're right. Having someone to pick you up when something happens also, right? The group is going in the same direction. That's great. Do something beyond yourself. Now, that's something that we all have to do, right? We all would love to just stay in our comfort zone. But the key to raising your leadership lid is doing something beyond yourself. To give an example, setting this up and making this video and making videos like this. I didn't know how to do any of this 2.5, 3 years ago. And over time, I've taught myself, and in the process, I've taught Kiana how to put things like this together, including making sure you get in Final Cut Pro and editing this video.
Yeah.
I know it seems like, you see these videos and you're like, hey, they just turn the camera on, turn the camera off, and then upload it to YouTube. Well, no, it's not that easy, right? And learning how to do all of these things helped me get out of my comfort zone, and it helped me to do something beyond myself. What do you think about doing something beyond yourself? What are you going to do beyond yourself?
Right now, it's junior year, thinking about colleges and thinking about, where I want to go and application process and all that and getting all the information. It's definitely driven me out of my comfort zone for sure. It's made me, have to find different things that I may have an interest in and to put that on my resume, and also, helping out in the community, which, I've done once or twice, but now, I really need to have that mindset to really be a part of the community and help out, because we've had some pretty difficult times the past year and a half, and I love that as a community we can help each other and build each other up during these rough times. So putting that on your college resume is definitely a plus with finding these different interests. So yeah, I think it's cool, but I also think it gives you a different mindset about your life and then somebody else's too.
No, that's good. And you're right. And that is doing something beyond yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And that's great. Because remember, we're talking about increasing our leadership lid. You have to do that. Reflect on who has been a lid lifter in your life and what characteristics make them a lid lifter. Now, this goes back to kind of like the Mastermind group or whatever, right? Those lid lifters are those people who have character. They have charisma. They have commitment, communication, competence, courage. They have real good discernment. It took me a long time to even figure out what that word meant. When my mom told me I had discernment, I'm like, well, what is that? Focus, generosity, initiative, listening. Listening is a lost art, right? Everyone wants to talk. No one wants to listen. They have to have passion for whatever they're doing. And the main thing is they have to have a positive attitude. If you're going to be a lid lifter, no one wants to be around someone that's always complaining about something. Have a positive attitude about everything. Yeah. So when you're looking for, what do you think about some of these characteristics that I talked about as far as being a lid lifter?
I think that, not everybody is going to have all of these characteristics, straight off the bat.
I know it's just me. I don't know.
We're going to take a little pause and we're going to think about the humbleness. I know it's deep down. It's in there.
I don't know what you're talking
It's somewhere. I know it's there.
I am being humble.
No, I know.
That is humble.
I know it's there.
I'm humbly telling you I have all of these characteristics.
I did not need to know that. Anyway, as I was saying, it's not everybody's gonna have all of these characteristics, and everybody's gonna need to improve. So don't go into it trying, to find that perfect lid lifter. Try and, if they have one or two qualities that you may like or that you respond to, then it's like, then both of you guys can improve on listening, or both of you guys can improve on a positive attitude. And then in the end, you both are growing, but that lid lifter is also lifting you as well. So I think that it goes hand in hand with those characteristics and building yourself and maybe your lid lifter up to that point, and then you guys are both at a 9.5 and 10 or whatever the score is. So I think it's important that both of you guys are on the same page about having those characteristics and making them show through your leadership or through your work.
No, that's a good answer. I couldn't have said it better myself.
We did not need that comment. I'm just saying. I know we have to move on, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, the last thing we want to talk about, and this is number 7, make a stop doing list. This is easy, right? We all do things that we know we should stop doing. And just, if you could just make a list, and I'll give you something that was on my list, stop drinking, right? I know, I know. I used to drink. I drank a little bit a long time ago. Oh my God. Right? But that was on my list at one time to stop drinking.
Crazy.
I know. Stop watching so much television. What got me into personal development in the very beginning was I heard someone say, hey, if you could just try to stop watching television for 2 weeks. Nowadays, what happens, you can record your show, so it's not like you're gonna miss it, right? And what I noticed when I stopped watching television for those 2 weeks, after about 4 days, the weekend hit, and you're doing stuff, but you're like, man, feels like I have a lot more time for some reason. And then you go and do something else, and after about 5 days, it's almost like you're bored, especially you get home from work, and if you're used to watching television, if you use that time to do something else, that will help. So that was on my list. Stop eating foods that were bad for me. That's another thing that was on my list. Yeah. Right? So make a stop doing list. Stop doing those things, and that will help raise your leadership lid. So you have anything on your stop doing list besides stop aggravating me?
No, it's always going to be on the list.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Aggravation. Love it. We'll do it every day. Every single day. But I think something else would be probably screen time. Screen time in general, just, because I have a laptop for school, so I have to, do my essays, look at, problems, read, stuff like that. But it's the essays that get me, I read them over like 5 or 7 times, and then I'm just sitting there like, I should not submit this. I should redo this right now. And it's like, wait, hold on. There's a lot of good stuff in here. You just gotta do it. Just do it, and then your teacher's gonna be like, wow, Kiana, you put a lot of work in that. Be like, yeah, I sat there for about 30 minutes to an hour rereading it over and over to make sure that it was great. So yeah, I think that for me, that's a big one.
No, that's good. And that screen time it's back in the day we were watching television, right? So yeah, the screen time was a television. I know now it's like 100 different screens.
Yeah.
But that's something good that you can do. You can maybe put the Instagram down for a little while. Sometimes you get caught up in Instagram. And you're just watching it,
just
for hours,
over and over,
hours and hours.
It's just crazy. This is not to a person specifically.
Right. We're not saying that this is my wife or anything.
Yeah, no.
I know
definitely not mom.
It's not her. I'm not talking about her. It's just people in general.
People, yes.
Right.
Social media, it's just this cycle. Yeah, just put it down. Put it down. Time to time.
So we've gone over 7 things. We've gone over 7 things that you can do to help raise your leadership lid, and I'm hoping that Kiana can take these, expound on them, learn them a little bit more, and then just continue to grow. And once again, this is a father-daughter conversation. I hope all the fathers out there are having these types of conversations with their daughters. It doesn't have to be about leadership, but it has to be about something every day. So yeah, my name is Christopher Houston. Oh, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because we will be posting these videos often.
Yes.
My name is Christopher Houston.
And I'm Kiana Houston.
Thank you very much. Good night, and God bless.
Thank you. Appreciate ya.
Oh, and you know what? We've done this exact same video. This is the 3rd time because we had some technical difficulties.
I wouldn't say, the first time was technical. The second time, was just annoyance. Okay,
Yeah,
it
the
was just
jets. We were at the marina and there were jets.
It was awful.
They just had the
they just
the
had to do
engines
it
on for like an hour, and I
The
tried to
whole
record
time
over it, but
we were filming. It
anyway,
was awful.
that
Anyway,
was it. So this one, hey,
if this is not it, I'm okay. This is on camera. This is recorded. If this one is not it, I'm done. I'm not doing this video again. I cannot.